It will be a great honor to serve in the mighty Decepticon army.
Welcome back to another edition of Tea and Toys. Now we have Armada Universe Wheeljack, or as they called him in Japan and in the Takara world, Rampage. So I like to sort of give him the name Rampage Jack to separate him from the Generation 1 version, because this, to me, this is Wheeljack. The look, the colouring, 100% Wheeljack, and the characterisation, something that the Prime version was very different of from the original Generation 1 version of Wheeljack, which is, well, the original, the numero uno. So, yeah, that's the Wheeljack comparisons over already. But what I do like about this character is the design, the colouring, the characterisation of him, because so many characters that flip-flop sides, change sides during the series and or in the comic books, it's usually a case if it's a bad Autobot, they're bad, and they don't tend to flip to the Decepticons, they're just a nefarious Autobot. And we usually get Decepticons that flip to the Autobot side, and they never seem to flip back, or Predacons in case of Black Arachnia. Even Rhinox, said sorry at the end. Well, that was after he was dead, but he still redeemed himself after his Tankor. One of the most popular characters is Drift, flipping from being Deadlock to flipping to the Autobots and becoming Drift. So what's great about this version of Wheeljack, let's just call him, is he is a former Autobot and a newfound Decepticon. Does he have his logo on his arm? Oh, it's a shame. They didn't put the logo on the arm. Now that's something that's missing. So I'm going to have to get a sticker and put it on his arm. You can't put it there because of the hole, so you're going to have to put it here, basically. That's a shame. I did not notice that until just now. So yeah, Wheeljack fell out with Hotshot. It's a massive... it's been a while since I've seen the two-parter. It's a great two-parter where these two are good friends, and I think Hotshot has to leave Wheeljack's... He's wounded, and he has to leave his side and go and get help. But he is unable to go back because his superior officers won't allow him to go back in because it's just far too dangerous. And I actually have sold off the Megatron. I only wanted these two as my Armada representation. I did love the Megatron, but I'm not collecting the Armada characters. I only want these two. These are the two that I love from the series, and they kind of go together as well, so that's quite nice. Is the Megatron, and Megatron is his saviour. He saves Wheeljack and twists his mind to go to hate Hotshot there. And it's because it could have been one of the easy things where Megatron just rocks up, takes him out, and that's it. But he sees an opportunity to mould this version of Wheeljack for his own means and ends. And for me, he becomes one of the best Decepticons of the show. I actually really like Thrust. Like the others are kind of forgettable. I know a lot of people love Starscream in that show, but for me, I kind of find him... That's not Starscream. He's not Starscream. To me, he's Altar. He is not Starscream. But this version of Wheeljack is just so good. It was such a good idea. It's a great design. The black and the blues, or the yellows if you have the original Hasbro toy. So yeah, and he uses the same buck as, well, funny enough, the Shattered Glass Sideswipe used the same buck, so they actually released the original owner of the buck second. But yeah, but uses a different version of the Earth Sideswipe mould. What's quite funny is that these are actually shown with the rocket launchers this side, where it is Wheeljack here is shown with it on that side. Oh, I can't see it on the picture. Right there. So that's why I've put it that side. And there are a few other little changes, like the chest is different, and I think the doors are different, so you can clip in the two swords. So yeah, that's the comparison with Red Alert and Sideswipe from Generation 1. So all the same articulation you would expect. My one's head is a little bit loose, which is a bit annoying. And fitting in this, I'm not going to pull it out now, because there's like a longer peg on the inside. I don't know why. Let's just check the other two. Let's see if it's on theirs. Yeah, for some reason, his has got a longer peg here. I'm thinking, well, that's just going to snap easily. And for the life, I could not get this in there, because this bit on his is actually, do you know what? Let's just go for it. You can see the difference here. For some reason, this part is incredibly short on Wheeljack's, whereas it's thick on here. So getting that to fit in here with just this little bit here, and the paint on it, it would not go in that hole. I had to shove it in. I was fearing I was going to snap this bit, which really has no functional purpose that I can see for why they changed that. You know, you see the inside, there is space to put that long paper. I don't know why they did that, because this version fits in there perfectly fine. Let's just put the gold one in there. Yeah, the gold one just doesn't fit in very well. I don't know why they made that change. That's very odd. If there's an explanation, somebody please tell me, but I don't get it personally for why they did that. And yeah, so but it could go either way around. But yes, I'll try and slide it in again, but it did not want to go in earlier. Ugh. So that's going to be like that. It's going to wedge in there forever. So I don't know why they did that silly little change, but that's something. And obviously the Red Alert and the Sideswipe, they come with additional guns, whereas Wheeljack comes with his... he does use them as laser blasters in the show. It's one of those things, they're like, oh, that must be his gun. It's like, no, why? It looks so dumb, him sort of like doing this, trying to shoot from these bits. Just have them as really cool swords. He doesn't need to have a gun. But they made them guns in the show. But for me, they're really cool swords. And if I was to have him back in comics somewhere, I would not call him Wheeljack, and I wouldn't call him outright Rampage either, because we obviously have an original G1 Rampage and we have a Beast Wars Rampage. And yes, I know multiple characters can have the same name, but neither name fits for me, for this guy. So I guess, like I said, I call him Rampage Jack. That's what I call him in my head. Yeah, it is what it is. But I would have him face off against him. He switched from being Decepticon to Autobot, and this guy switched from Autobot to Decepticon, which again makes him very unique in the Transformers world, really. So let's transform him. It comes with those, well, technically 4 accessories. Does not come with the Minicon, just like Hotshot there, does not come with the Minicon. And he's pretty easy to transform, but I must say it has been a while since I've transformed this mould, so we'll give it a go live on camera. So you can laugh at me if I if I unwittingly break in. I can remember now. I ain't that old yet, guys. Yesterday's model, ready for the scrap heap. Not quite. And there he is. Nearly. I've got to pull out the doors. And that's one thing with this mold. It was a good pick, because you can sort of semi-emulate the original door pop-up that the Wheeljack original toy had. And I've done that wrong already. I think they need to go in first. Oh no, I'm not that silly. This is what happens when you haven't transformed a Transformer for a while and you haven't looked at the instructions properly, which it does come with. I have not got them on the table here. So you can sort of emulate the doors pop up, not as they had on the original toy, not at all. But like with all these toys, well, most of them, you get the storage for the weapons to go on there. On the original toy, they slid in very nicely and sort of slotted in, so which became the yellow bar. But this is not a bad trade-off. I'm not going to cry about this. And then you can stick the missile launcher on top of the car like that. So there we go. Rampage Jack, Wheeljack Rampage, whatever you want to call him, in the Takara colours, I believe. I believe this is the original Takara toy colours. So I think from memory, the original Hasbro was the yellow on the bonnet. So yeah, the blue, really nice. It's great colouring. The black, the blue, the gold, and the white. He is a great looking character. Great design, great concept, and I'm very happy that they did him. So in a way, it's unfortunate I'm not getting the rest of the Armada cast, but I'm not going to go down that route. I don't have much interest in it. Maybe I might be twisted my arm to get the Demolisher because he's a unique character from that show, and a unique named character, whereas fancy enough Wheeljack isn't. But his concept alone and his look is just a win-win for me. Well, what do you guys and girls think? Is Wheeljack a winner, or is he a loser? Don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and see you guys and girls in the next video.